Hello, welcome back to the another session on basics to advanced course. So in the previous video we have seen about periodic table and what are the periodic properties. Using those here in this video onwards we will move on towards chemical bonding. Chemical bonding is one of the important topic in the chemistry and it is a vast topic. I will have divided these topics into different parts. First we shall see what is a chemical bond and why a chemical bond is formed, and some of the general basic bonds such as ionic and covalent bond and how they form. In the next we will see about what are the properties of bonds, like what is bond length, what is bond angle, and what is a dipole moment, etc. And in the subsequent lectures we'll see different concepts of bonds, like the different concepts we talk about bond formation, like valence bond theory. We have valence band theory, we have molecular orbital theory, further we have crystal field theory, and also we shall see some of important features like hybridization, VSEPR theory, etc. So let's begin. uh, why the bond is formed. First of all, what is a bond? A bond is a let's take an example and explain that. For example, there is a bond. This is carbon carbon. What is a bond? Bond is an interaction or attraction happening between two atoms. This attraction may be an electrostatic or it may be due to the sharing. Generally it happens may directly due to the direct electron, it may happen due to direct electron transfer or due to sharing. So before going into that deep, we shall see what is a bond. Bond is an attraction between two atoms. That's the general definition of a bond. Why bonds are formed? Bonds are formed because every element wants to attain noble gas configuration, that is either 2, this is only a special kind of scenario, that's called duplet, or 8 in its outermost orbital. This is the stable structure. All noble gases except helium has 8 electrons in its outermost orbital, which is a stable structure. All the elements want to attain this structure and hence they react with another element. Either they donate the electron or take the electron or share the electron, whichever mean which is possible and which is allowed, they will form the bond and they become stable. Hence this is an attraction between two atoms of either of the same element or of the different element. Here I have shown this is between carbon and carbon, this is same element, or it can be between nitrogen and carbon, then it will be a different element. Here this is the definition of bond. And why they form? Because they want to attain noble gas configuration. This is the purpose of bond formation. Now let's see types. Roughly we can say there will be two kinds of bonds, that is either there is a complete electron transfer, that is called as ionic bond. Why they are called ionic? Because there will be a formation of ions. And there is one more type which is covalent bond, where the electrons are just shared. First let's see what is ionic bond. Ionic bond, as I mentioned, it is formed between ions. Let's take an example of sodium atom. Sodium atom has an atomic number 11 and has the electron configuration 1s2, 2p2, 2s2, 2p2, that is 6 electrons, and 3s2, 3s1. So in the outermost orbital it has 1 electron. Hence to obtain its stable electron configuration, 2, 8 and 1, to obtain the stable configuration it has to lose this electron, and hence it becomes similar to that of neon, which I have seen here. This is the stable for neon. Neon has 10 electron. There is one more in the sodium. If this loses this 1 electron, it will form a stable electron configuration. Hence sodium wants to lose an electron, and it form a sodium cation, Na+. In the previous videos we have seen a losing of electron or removal of electron is directly associated with the ionization potential, and hence if it wants to lose an electron, that means clearly it has a lower ionization potential, that is the electron can be removed easily, and the ion which is formed after removal of electron is called an cation. Similarly, let's take an example of chlorine. Chlorine has 17 electron and the configuration is 2, 8, 7, that is L plus 2, 10 plus 7. So it has outermost 7 and it needs one more electron to form an argon configuration. See, it can either lose 7 electron or take 1 electron. But as we know, that losing 7 electron is not practical, because as the 1 electron is removed, the ionization potential becomes greater and greater. So removing the 7 as the charge increases, we have seen in the last class, as the charge increases, ionization potential increases. That's why removing 7 electrons subsequently is highly impossible. That's why what chlorine wants to take an electron. And we have seen in the periodic table, I'll roughly write the periodic table. Fluorine belongs to 17th group, and electron affinity moves like this. That is, electron affinity goes on increasing towards from left to right. Since electron affinity is increasing from left to right, chlorine can take 1 electron quite easily and form a Cl minus ion. Now the configuration is 288. Now it has a argon configuration and it is stable. And now it is formed an ion called as anion. The anion is a negative ion formed after taking an electron, and the concept associated with here is electron affinity. Hence, as we know, electron affinity is greater in this side. We should, to form an ionic bond, we should have stronger electron affinity. That is, the element or atom which wants to take the electron should have a higher love towards electron, and it should have a lower ionization energy. That means the atom which wants to lose the energy and which wants to lose the electron and forms the ion should have to do that very easily. That means it should lose the electron readily and it should gain the electron readily. Sodium should lose the electron readily. That means sodium should have lower ionization energy. Clear? And chlorine should gain the electron readily. That means it should have higher electron affinity. Hence, to summarize here, to form an ionic bond, I'll write it as Ib. The ionization potential should be lower and electron affinity should be higher. See, let's see the periodic table. In the periodic table, ionization energy and electron affinity both increases from left to right. Let's take this is Ip, ionization potential, and it is electron affinity. Both increases from left to right. As we can see in this chart, to form the ionic bond, ionization potential should be lower, which is this part, the left part. This part has the lower ionization potential and this part has a higher electron affinity. Hence, ionic bond can be formed by when one element belongs to this particular part. There is a leftmost part of the periodic table, another is rightmost part. That is nothing but ionic bond generally formed between a metal and a non-metal. A metal is on the left hand side and non-metal is on the right hand side in the periodic table. So an ionic bond which is formed between the electrostatic interaction with two ions, that is cation and anion, is formed between a metal which is on the left hand side and a non-metal which is on the right hand side of the periodic table. And let's see what is covalent bond. Covalent bond is nothing but sharing of electrons. See, for example, let's take carbon. Carbon has how many electrons in the outermost? Carbon atomic number is 6, hence it has 2 and 4. On the outermost it has 4 electrons, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hence either it has to lose all the 4 electrons, it has to gain all the 4 electrons, and we know it is extremely difficult. Losing all the 4 electrons or gaining the 4 electrons is extremely difficult. Hence carbon adopts a different approach where it shares this electron. For example, it takes one more carbon and it shares this electron. I can show this with much better in a way, for example, with oxygen. Let's take 1, 2, 3, 4. Oxygen atomic number, you know, it is 8, and you have 6 outermost electrons. Carbon, I'll revisit it when I am showing triple and double bonds. For the simplicity purpose, we'll take oxygen now. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So oxygen has 6 electrons, it needs 2 more electrons. This oxygen also has 6 electrons and it needs 2 electrons, but it cannot directly take the 2 electrons here. So what it does, it shares between them. Hence this particular oxygen now has 8 electrons, and similarly this particular oxygen also has 8 electrons. That means these two from here and here are shared between these two oxygens. That's why that the sharing, the process involved is sharing of electron, and it is known as covalent bond. Now, how many bonds are formed? And one thing you should keep in mind, a bond is formed when 2 electrons are involved. Now, as we can see here, there are 2 here and 2 here. 4 electrons are involved. That means oxygen forms one bond due to 2 electrons, one more bond with the another 2 electrons. That is, oxygen forms a double bond. Hence, we know the O2 which is present in the environment is always in the form of O double bond O. Let's take example of nitrogen. Nitrogen has 7 electrons, and it is 2, 5. That is 1, 2, 3 electrons. Nitrogen 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 5 electrons. Again 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Now these 3 electrons from this and 3 electrons from this are shared. They both nitrogen share these, and now you can see 3 plus 3 6 plus 2 8. Similar way 3 plus 3 6 plus here to 8. So both the nitrogen get the octet because the 3 electron each from each nitrogen is shared between the two. Hence you have triple bond. I hope you understand this now. There is 2 electrons for one bond, 2 more electrons from the other, and other 2. It forms a triple bond. That is N3. N2, which is a triple bond, and oxygen has a double bond, nitrogen has a triple bond. Thus, this bond, this can happen either between the same element or the different element. We have seen now the formation of covalent bond between the same element. Now I'll show you an example where this can happen between different elements. For example, let's take the example of methane, CH4. We know carbon has 4 outermost electron, 1, 2, 3, 4. It needs 4 electrons or sharing of 4 electrons. Now what it does, it takes hydrogen. We know hydrogen atomic number 1 electron. Hydrogen 1 and 4 hydrogens. So it forms a bond with 4 hydrogen, each having one electron. So hydrogen now gets 2 electrons. You keep it in mind, hydrogen wants to attain helium electron configuration, that is 2. It's also known as duplet. But other elements except hydrogen and except some ions like lithium ion and all wants to achieve octet structure, and hence you get 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2, 8 electrons around carbon. And can you tell me how many bonds are formed now? Here we have explained previously that 2 electrons are needed to form one bond. Now how many electrons are involved? 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, and 2 here. So we can say 4 bonds. But keep it in mind, 2 elements are involved only in one bond. That is, this particular, let's say this hydrogen H1, H2, H3, and H4. So carbon and hydrogen 1 have shared only 2 electrons. Same way with all. Hence we can say 4 single bonds. But in case of this, oxygen 1 and oxygen 2 both shared 4 electrons. Then there is a double bond. If they have shared like this, just a hypothetical situation I'm writing, then we could have say it is a 2 single bonds. But here it is a single double bond. It's a 1 double bond, but here 2 single bonds. I think you understood this. To summarize, to form a bond you need 2 electrons. And a covalent bond is formed when there is a sharing of electron, and ionic bond is formed when there is a direct transfer of electron. So covalent bond can form between same elements. The covalent bond can form between different elements. And covalent bond form may be a single bond, that is just 2 electrons are involved, or it may be a double bond where 4 electrons are involved, or it may be a triple bond where 3 electrons are involved. That is 3 electrons from each element. That means you will have 6 total number of electrons. As can be seen in nitrogen, you have 3 electrons from one element, 3 from the other, and 6 electrons. And 2 from here, 2 from here, 4. It is a double bond and it is a triple bond. And in case of here, you have 4 single bonds because for each bond there are only 2 electrons. So this is the concept of covalent and ionic bond. From the next class, we shall see the Lewis dot structure and we'll move into the bond properties. Thank you.